Today we're back at Physicians Regional Building and we're here for the fun part this time. We've got our 390-ton crane picking up panels, 60-ton auxiliary crane to bring in braces, and we're in the process of standing up panels as we speak. So the auxiliary crane is mainly on site to accommodate these 52-foot long, 680-pound braces, which are just a beast for any of the guys to try to manhandle. But in addition to that, he's also handling strong backs, such as the one you see mounted on this panel out here. Those weigh in at around 3,700 pounds, and certainly no way to manipulate them safely without the crane. So right now, they're bracing off one of our main entryway panels. Again, we're flying in cranes with the auxiliary 60-ton from Hunter Merchant over there. Zyger is the one who's supplying our main crane here. It's a 390-ton beast of a crane. Our elevator pit is starting to get closed in. We've actually got the first panel in place right here. The balance of them will be set from the opposite side of the building. They're literally laying on the casting bed out to this side right here. So as our guys are working their boom lift around to assist in supplying the braces, they got plenty of help right over there. We've got a few set over here. This is the first wall coming from the corner. You can see how the embed plates line up now. They for the elevated floors for the ledger angles to be attached to, and the ones that have clips on them will actually be the floor joists themselves. So the entire upper floors are composite decks consisting of steel beams, metal decking, Nelson studs tying into the concrete topping. It'll be 6 to 8 weeks before we pour any of those. The way that this process will work is the erection crew finishes setting all the panels. The steel company will install the roof deck and tie everything in. That creates a diaphragm effect, which locks the whole building in place. My guys will remove the braces from underneath, and then they'll start assembling floors on the inside. So a good 6 to 8 weeks before we do any pours on the inside. Over here you can see the guys cleaning up the slab where we had panels sitting previously. It's not terribly much. Most of the stripping was done ahead of time, but there's always a lot of stuff locked in place underneath of the panels. So now's the time to get that out of there. These panels are ready to go, and we have our crew out here resetting strong backs. There's actually 24 locations. We brought in 8 strong backs, so we have to move them 3 times before we're done. Our man Caterino is down there directing our guy Bill on the lift, working them in. Again, those weigh 3,700 pounds, so thinking that you could grab them would be foolhardy. As you can see on the edge of the panels slab, this is our footer. We've prepared for the panels to come in by setting shim packs. That allows us to level up the panels precisely. We do have 3/4 inch joints in these panels, so even an 1/8 of an inch in 60 feet is very visible. It's a very touchy thing. At the height of these panels, if we were to change one shim pack at the bottom an 1/8 of an inch, that will move the top of the panel a 1/2 of an inch. So it's a very fine-tuned situation, especially considering the weight and size of all of the members in this building. So they're working that to be ready for the crane once it gets around here. My guys are getting ready to start grouting. We're going to be using some bag goods on this particular site due to the fact that it's very difficult. Watch your step. We have to be careful out here walking around on these panels. It's a 12-inch step down, and as you may or may not know, even a short fall, 7 or 8 inches, can kill you if you land the wrong way. So our welder has been installing connections in the corners. They're kind of weird. We don't see them too often. These are for a panel-to-panel connection. I assume that is because they think that it will move, which it will not. Instead, it is going to crack the embed plates out. The flat plates are for butt connections, and the angle plates are for the corners. So there's a lot of welding in this job. Let's say a rough estimate is 1,700 clips that have to be welded. Again, got a pallet of grout right here, and these panels that are in place, basically, we're gonna pour some grout in through this side, very wet, until we see it coming out the other side, so that we'll know that we have a solid bed of grout without any interruptions. or voids. It needs to be solid to support the weight of the panels. These here, we just poured this past Monday. These are the last 2 panels that will be getting set. So right now our guys are going through, we have major recesses in these panels. The reason for the recesses is to create an effect of a one continuous window wrapping around the corner of the building. So there's a real window, and then there's a recess that allows the glaze to continue through uninterrupted. There's several medical buildings around here that have the same effect. This is how they achieve it. We're moving right along. A lot of the material that was in these areas was stuck and came up with the panel. That's mostly because we didn't bother excessively nailing it to the floor. It strips out pretty easy. So the guys have them a safety zone cordoned off, and we've actually got a monitor outside here who is keeping an eye out to make sure that no one enters the danger zone where the cranes are working, or, heaven forbid, this area right here where they're dropping things from a reasonably good height. So to come around this side, the lead man off my erection crew, he's out there with the line instrument. He's taking a peek, make sure that everything is plumb. I thought we would take a look at my safety monitor, Dakota, who maybe he knows we're coming because he seems to be hiding behind that crane over there. All the guys are a little bit shy when it comes to videos, but in the green shirt at the front side of that crane is Dakota, and he is in charge of keeping everyone out of this area. Sometimes we get visitors to the site, they're impressed, they want to wander up here and could potentially fatally injure themselves or put themselves in a position to be injured without really knowing what it is. So we got to keep an eye out for everybody out here. Probably the least of our worries is the guys who seem to be in the most dangerous spot due to their experience and the fact that they're used to working with this kind of equipment and these weights and sizes of panels. They're pretty safe. They know where to be watching, they know where to not be when the time comes, and we very rarely have issues with them. More often, inexperienced laborers or strangers who just come up on the job site are the ones who are going to get hurt. So we make every effort to do that. Obviously, there's nothing out here that's worth anyone's life. So beyond that, we're getting going. We were hoping to set about 10 panels a day, 5-day erection sequence. Right now, we're not quite making that, simply due to the fact of all the strong backs and flying in braces. But as we get down a couple more panels, things will start going a little bit quicker. We were hoping to be done next Tuesday. Realistically, it's going to be Wednesday or possibly even Thursday. But even that's not that bad. So we'll keep on keeping on and see you next time.